Good morning, everyone. Scott Earhart here with Insurance Agency Marketing Services. Thank you all so very, very much for taking the time to join us today. We know that time with us on a presentation is time where you're not out actively marketing and prospecting, so we do greatly appreciate it. And we're going to bring a lot of value to you today with some great product from Guaranteed Income Life. As I'm sure you saw on the invite, we are going to talk about a linked benefit here, a hybrid product with some great long-term care enhancements. And Guaranteed Income Life is definitely a leader in the industry here. Before we hand it over, I will go through a few housekeeping items and a couple of introductory slides, and then we'll hand it over to Joe Schaefer, our internal wholesaler with Guaranteed Income Life. I believe we have him on the line. Joe, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
All right. Hey, thank you for your time. I know Guarantee Income Life's had a banner year, even with 2020 being as crazy as it is. So, really excited for them to take some time and share this product with us. So, give me just a little bit of leeway here, guys. Go through a couple housekeeping items, those introductory slides, and then we'll get it off and running and into the meat and potatoes. First and foremost, we'll go through those housekeeping items. Probably the most important thing you'll hear me say today is in the top right-hand corner of your screen. That's our phone number, 800-255-5055. If there's anything we can do here at our office to help you with your life or annuity efforts, please let us know. We'd love the opportunity to be chatting with you. Second housekeeping item that we've got are going to be questions. We're going to throw quite a bit of information at you in a fairly condensed time period here, so I'm sure there will be questions. Feel free to type them into the questions box at the end of the presentation. We'll do the best we can to get those answered while we are live and in session. And then the final housekeeping item that I have are polling questions. I will launch 1 to 2 polls during the presentation today. They are just simple yes or no questions. So if you would be kind enough to just click yes or no, we'd certainly appreciate everyone's participation there. All right, moving on into the introductory slides. First slide that you're going to see here is the new producer builders. This slide is geared towards individuals that are new to us here at IAMS, or possibly this might be your first introduction to us here. This is geared towards you. This is all based on your production within the first 180 days of being licensed with us here at IAMS. And as you can see, there are several amazing levels that you can cash in at, and inside each level, some great options for you. Business building tools, personal perks, even cash rewards available for you. So if you'd like to know where you stand or want to have a conversation about what we can do to help you get to the next level, just give your sales director here at IAMS a call. They can certainly help you with that. Moving on to business builders, one of my favorite slides, because all we're going to talk about here for the next 45 seconds or so are putting money back in your pocket. First, we're going to talk about the referred producer program. Our our business here on the wholesale side of the industry, very similar to yours on there in the field, in that one of the best leads that we're ever going to obtain is a referral from one of our valued clients or you, our value advisors. And we want to make it worth your while to refer other individuals over to us. So when you refer a producer to IAMS and they pick up any contract with us, we're going to send you a $50 thank you check. Now, where the real money comes in is as that referred producer writes business through IAMS, we're going to send you an override on that. You can see the breakdown for the basis points there. We cut these checks at least quarterly. They total thousands and thousands of dollars, so it can be very, very lucrative to you or for you. So if you can think of anyone that could benefit from doing business with us here at IAMS, certainly type their information into the questions box, or when someone from my staff calls to follow up with you, let them know who they are, or feel free to email me their information, scott@iamsinc.com. We'll certainly do the best we can to get them recruited over to IAMS and hopefully get you on your way to earning some referred producer dollars. Below that is our most popular program that we offer, marketing reimbursement. This is available to everyone that is licensed with IAMS, and you are automatically enrolled in this program. What makes our marketing reimbursement so unique compared to many others out there is we really do consider this to be your money. What we mean by that is you can see a breakdown on how you accrue dollars there. We don't tell you when you have to cash your account out. We don't cap your account at any certain number. And we don't tell you what vendors you have to use for your reimbursements. So what I mean by that is if you've got a vendor that you've used and had success with, we want to encourage you to continue that relationship. All we ask is that you, when you order that marketing or whatever it is you do, you send us the invoice or receipt. We'll cut you a check to help you offset that cost. It's a great way for us to show you our commitment in partnership with you to grow your business. If you have any questions on either of these programs, just let your sales director know. They can certainly get those questions answered for you. Little hype slide here. This is really who we are and how IAMS was founded 34 years ago. That subheadline there on the left-hand side of your screen, helping you work smarter, not harder. That's what we're about here. Really helping the independent agent facilitate their business and not have to worry about all the minutia of writing business. We'll do that with great business building tools and resources. You've seen a couple of slides on some business building opportunities we have or partnership opportunities that we make available to you, and resources just like what you're on today. Great daily webinars, great trainings to help make sure you are in the know for what's going on out there, product wise, sales concept wise, things of that nature. All of that, we're going to talk about case design assistance and life and annuity quotes. We'll make a 24-hour guarantee to all of our reps that we'll have the case design you need or the illustration you need out to you within 24 hours. Normally, we're going to talk about having that out to you within hours of the request, but we do put a little buffer there. So definitely a commitment we want to make to our advisors. Forms at your fingertips. We appoint all of our reps directly with the carrier, so you have access to carrier sites. Of course, you can call us. And we will go get those forms for you, either ship them to you or get them emailed to you that same day you make the request. And then IAMSinc.com, our website, a lot of forms easily accessible there. So easy for you to get the proper forms you need. Below that, submission to commission support. This is all about our new business administration team. And these ladies and gentlemen are absolutely fantastic people and amazing at what they do. We'll scrub your app for you. We'll submit your app on your behalf, and we'll do all the tracking of that app for requirements or issuance needs on those applications. And that's an absolutely free service that we offer here at IAMS. I'd tell you this, and I'd challenge you to do this. If you are using us and you have not used the new business team, again, there's no cost to you to do that. I would tell you, submit your next app through our office. I think you'll be pleasantly surprised at how much quicker you'll be commissioned and that policy will be issued because of the efforts of this team. Top sales expertise and coaching below that. We do have national sales coaches throughout the country that are here to help you. We've got a lot of sales expertise here in our office. I don't want to date us and how old we are, but we've been doing this a long time and we believe we're pretty good at what we do, and we certainly want to share that expertise with you. And then paperless contracting. Real quick on this, we are on the SuranceBay platform. So all those, for those of us that are old enough to remember filling out individual licensing forms and the hand cramps, those days are gone. All you have to do is fill out licensing one time, and then we can add whatever carriers you need, of course, with your permission. If you have any questions about how SuranceBay works, just give Chris Mount, our licensing director, a call here in the office. She'd love to chat with you about how we can help you with that. Firelight, I do want to highlight this. We do have Firelight available on our website. Moving forward there, you can see all the carriers that we currently have on there and some that we're adding on soon, including Guaranteed Income Life. Great way, especially in 2020 with the contact rules and things like that, to do applications without having to put yourself or your clients at risk. Firelight can be accessed at IAMSinc.com. If you haven't registered for it, I'd encourage you to do so. The other thing about Firelight is it's really going to help you with your NIGO issues. It's very hard to submit a Firelight application that is not in good order. So definitely check that out if you haven't. Creative Marketing Solutions. We do have an in-house creative team, very, very good and large team of individuals that are here to help you brand yourself and market yourself, both with our turnkey flyers, postcards, things like that we can impose your information on very quickly and have that marketing ready for you. Of course, Agency Solutions, we can help you build your brand. And I would say this, if you haven't taken the time to build a unique and consistent and customized brand for your practice, I'd tell you, give us a call. Let us do that for you. It's definitely going to help you with your name recognition and help you grow your practice in an organic fashion in your natural market. And then digital solutions. We are definitely here to help you with that. And we've got some great expertise there. Websites, social media, email marketing. We can do all of those things for you. And I'd tell you to take advantage of that. If you haven't, give your sales director a call if you'd like to learn more about IAMS Creative. I've mentioned it a few times. Our website, we just made some enhancements to the website a couple weeks ago. A lot of great new sales tools added on. If you haven't gone out to IAMSinc.com and created a profile, as soon as we're done with this presentation, I would highly encourage you to do so. Retirement Analyzer. Moving on to Retirement Analyzer here. This is a holistic analysis software that we make available to IAMS advisors. If you are not using a software or a tool to kind of show your work, for lack of a better term, show why you're making the recommendations that you should or that you are, I think you should kick the tires of Retirement Analyzer. Marcus Solar in our office is our point man on this, so give him a call if you'd like to learn more. What I'll tell you about Retirement Analyzer is not only is it an analysis tool of your client's financial standing, it's a closing tool as well, because simply with a click of a button, you can show a client in very plain language how much better their position will be because they've implemented the strategy or utilized the product that you're recommending. Definitely will help you close more sales if it's something you utilize. Again, Marcus Solar in our office is our point man. Feel free to give him a shout. We can certainly get you out the free trial of it, get you trained on it. It's a great, great program. IAMS Wealth Management. As I talk about IAMS Wealth Management, I'm going to launch our first poll of the day, just asking you if you'd like more information on it. If you click yes, what you are going to receive is going to be an email with details about our RIA and then a phone call from Duncan or Mike in our office just to kind of talk to you about who we are and what we do on that side of the house. Founded IAMS Wealth Management, probably 3 years ago now. And we founded it the same way that we work as an IMO. It's an advisor-centric RIA. Definitely work with our advisors to help them grow their practices. We're not one of those RIAs that's out there buying other firms or anything like that and rolling them up under. We want to grow this organically, and we've done a great job of it. We can definitely help you. If you are looking to become an IAR and pass the Series 65, we've got some great study partners and tools to help you get ready for that test. And then I'd tell you, if you currently are an IAR, click yes, kick the tires of IAMS Wealth Management. I think you'd be really impressed with the technology that we bring, the platform that's available to your clientele, and probably most importantly, the fee structure that is out there. Very, very competitive in today's landscape. We've got a lot of great retail clients that are very happy with the structure of it, and then our advisors. There's just a ton of value there. So that being said, I'm going to move on to our next slide. If you haven't taken the time to click yes or no on this poll, if you do so now, I'd certainly appreciate it. We do appreciate everyone's participation in those. Thank you, everybody. All right, moving on. That's the end of my slides. So now I've got to change the presenter over to Joe here, make sure he gets that, and we'll get into the meat and potatoes of today's presentation. Joe, I believe you should have control now.
Yep, let me just switch and get the correct screen up here. Maybe. My computer's a little slow. Sorry.
All good.
All right, perfect. All right, here we go. You guys see it all right?
Yes, sir.
All right, thanks. Thanks again, everybody, for taking time out of your busy days to jump on the call with us. Thanks to IAMS for giving us the opportunity to present. You guys have been a great partner with us in the past, and we appreciate everything that you've done. Again, I'm Joe Schaefer here with Guarantee Income. To get started, I just wanted to give a little bit of a background on who we are here at Gillico. We like to joke around internally that we're a 95-year-old startup company. We were actually founded back in the 1920s down in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Really has been a kind of small regional, primarily a MIGA shop. We've done some life insurance business throughout. A few years back, about 4 years ago, we were actually acquired by Couvert Holdings So that is our parent company, as you can see here. And, at that point in time at Gillico, we were doing about 45 million in new premium sales. I think we had just under a billion, or not even a billion, like 500 million, sorry, in assets under management. So pretty small from where we're at there. Fast forward at 4 short years, we've had just incredible sales growth here. It looks like we're going to close out 2020 around 650 million in new premium sales, which is just, incredible growth from where we were just 4 years ago. As you can see there, we were at about 1.2 billion in assets under management. So thank you, everybody, for your support. Obviously, without the great relationships that we have with our IMOs like IAMS, that type of growth just isn't possible. And so we really do appreciate that. Kuvare also owns United Life. They're more of a direct wholesale model there. So they've primarily been a life insurance company out of the Cedar Rapids office. And then for us at Gillico, this year really got started off with a bang. We acquired the closed block of business from Lincoln Benefit Life. Here at Guarantee Income, we're a B++ rated company. We have aspirations to get to an A rating, and that acquisition was a big step for us to getting to there. As you can see there, just what it did for the total AUM for us. So at Gillico, we went from 1.2 to just about 18 billion in AUM. Unfortunately for us, apparently rating agencies are slow to upgrade when you're going through a pandemic with historic low interest rates. So we haven't quite got there with the upgrade in rating. Hopefully in the next couple of years we will. But internally, as far as how we manage our block of business, we run it like we are an A-rated carrier. So when the day comes that we finally do get the ratings upgrade, you're not going to see this dramatic shift in, our products and what we're offering here. So just always want to provide that, because I know a lot of people, even though we've been around for a long time, they sometimes aren't familiar with the Guarantee Income story. And it's just really, it's exciting growth and moving in the right direction. And so we're really excited about what the future has for us here. So getting into the real presentation, what to think of 2020? What a year, right? I mean, there's just no way around it. So far, started off the year, and we thought this was going to be the big news. At least I did. My girlfriend is obsessed with the Netflix show The Crown. So when Harry and Meghan resigned from the royal family, I had to watch every single 2020 Dateline type episode talking about it, what it meant. And so that was, big news. Thought that was going to be the big news of the year. For us being in Baton Rouge, LSU winning the national championship. I'm pretty sure I still have coworkers that are still celebrating the victory, even though this season has started and LSU is not doing so well. They still remind me they are the reigning national champions. So big one for us here at Gillico to see that. And obviously things kind of hit the fan shortly after that. Coronavirus hits, and it's just had a major impact on every single person in this country. Murder hornets. This one, I don't know what I clicked on, but my phone loves to provide me updates on the murder hornet status. It was a big scare, and didn't seem like it's a big scare. Now it seems like it's coming back. So I have no idea where we're at with this one, but like I said, my phone keeps me informed on what's going on there. And obviously, social unrest. It's just been a really, a lot of things have kind of bubbled up, and a lot of things that we need to address as a country. And then, throw on top of that an election that maybe it's over, maybe it's not, still a ton going on there, and just a lot of divide. But really, it's just been emotionally for people a very volatile year, a very tough year to get through. And it just, these things have impacted every single person, regardless of where you're at. And so it's been quite the year so far. Fortunately we're in November. Hopefully 2021 brings us brighter things. But, and not just emotionally has it been a volatile year. I think when you look at the markets, it's been a ride. If you would have told me back in March that the S&P would actually be positive, and not just positive, but double-digit positive within the year, I never would have believed you. I never would have thought that would have been possible. But we have seen this quick recovery from where we started off with the pandemic. But even with that, there's that fear, this second round of shutdowns. Some states never really got away from being on lockdown. And how much longer can these small businesses survive? Stimulus package getting held up in Congress. And so even though the market's up, it still doesn't feel like it's up, and it doesn't feel like it can sustain for a lot of people. So there's still a lot of fear in the marketplace for clients. They just don't know where to go with the safe money options, that type of stuff. And then I always like to kind of look at this one, looking at the VIX, and I did a 5-year look back just to show you how volatile of a year it's been and how sustained it's been. The VIX level has pretty much been double what the average volatility is for almost all of the year. Obviously, we see a big spike here in the March timeframe, and it's come down. But even now, it's still at what would be high points from like 19 and 18 time periods like that. So it's really been a tough time in the marketplace. And what happens, right? What's the normal reaction from clients when we get into a situation like this? They go to cash, right? They look to get into safe money options. We've seen huge spikes in MIGA sales for us, and I think when you talk to a lot of people out there, that they've sold more of the fixed products than what they typically do. But the thing with it is, let's look at what the 10-year treasury is. So I did this, kind of went back to '08, right? The last time we had a major market correction. You can see there the lowest I could find the 10-year treasury at was 2.21. A couple days ago, 10-year treasury is up to 88 basis points. And it's sad to say it was up to that level, right? I think people never thought they'd see it below 1%. There'd been talks at times of like, could it go negative? What would happen there? And the reason this is important is because the 10-year treasury, as everybody knows, it's really one of the big drivers for rates, as far as with safe money options. So, when you think about bank CDs, I think on a 5-year bank CD, it's less than 1% or maybe right around 1% is the best rate in the marketplace. When you go out and you look at the top MIGA rates on Annuity Rate Watch, 3 and 4 year at 2.45. It's not until you get to a 5-year that you finally find a product that gets above 3%. It used to be, we always said, hey, anything less than 3, why would we do? Because 3 is kind of our number for inflation. Obviously, inflation has kind of dipped down a little bit to where that we don't have to hold to that 3 rule. But I just really think there's not a lot of bang for the buck, right? With these types of products, we're just barely kind of breaking even and not doing a lot for the client's portfolio. And I say that coming from a carrier that 70+% of our sales are in MIGA products. So I'm not saying we shouldn't sell any MIGAs, definitely not doing that. But I think there's a great opportunity to kind of mix up the conversation and really focus on adding value to our client's portfolio, and doing so by looking at protecting them from a long-term care event. So just a couple of statistics from seniorliving.org that I think really kind of jump out and show the significance of planning for this type of an event. 70% of clients age 65 and older are gonna need some form of long-term care during their life. So if you think about that, that's almost 3 out of 4 clients that you work with that are 65 or older are gonna have a long-term care event at some point in time during their life. The average long-term care stay right now is around 2.5 years. That number had been climbing. I'm not sure how much of an impact, COVID will have on that, but obviously, just if you take out the pandemic piece of it, you think about it, people are more focused on healthier lifestyles. Medical advancements have just been incredible for us. And so people are able to live longer. And so that's why I think we'll, even with this maybe little blip from COVID, we'll still continue to see that 2.5-year number continue to climb. And then the average cost for a private care facility is just under $100,000. So if we think about it, 3 out of 4 of the clients that you're working with that are 65 and older, they're going to have a long-term care event that's going to impact them. That could, on average, have an impact of about $250,000 to their retirement portfolio if they're not prepared for it. So that could be a major impact to your client's retirement savings. Fortunately, obviously, there's products out there that are designed to help it, and that's why we want to talk a little bit about our AnnuiCare policy here at Guarantee Income. We were the first actually to come out with this hybrid model where we're using a fixed annuity with a long-term care rider attached to it. We did create the product back in 1999, so we have actually been out in the marketplace for over 20 years with the AnnuiCare policy. What we really like about it, the money's safe because it's tied up it's in a fixed annuity. Clients can still access it through a 10% penalty-free withdrawal if they need to access some of the funds. And then the big value is we're going to give your clients 3 times their account value to cover long-term care. So really, we're really giving them a great leverage product with their safe money. The nice thing with this type of design compared to traditional long-term care, if they don't ever actually need it, so if they're that 25% of those older clients that don't need long-term care at some point in time, they'll get they can get the account balance back if they need to, or that passes on to a beneficiary in a very tax-efficient way from that standpoint. As far as looking at the objectives of what we want to achieve with a product like this, it's, obviously protect your clients from the high cost of healthcare, really allow them the option to afford the level of care that they want to receive. We talked about this, maintain control of your assets, but I think even bigger than that, it's about maintaining control of your lifestyle, especially as you get into that kind of slow go, no go period of retirement. I want to share this story. Kerry Carney, who's our VP of sales here at Gillico, he talks about he has his dad and his uncle. His dad had traditional long-term care. His uncle didn't have any type of coverage in place. Both got to a point where they needed care. And Kerry jokes, he's like, my dad went to a private facility, and he's like, it's like a damn country club, is what he says. There's so many activities. He's got all these things going on. He's like, it's really nice. Really enjoys it. The uncle had to go just kind of do more of a state-run facility. And I'm not saying anything negative towards that. It's great. It's amazing work that the people do there. There's a reason, though, that there's a difference in the price. And, it's just, Kerry goes, it's just crazy the difference in, what's going on in their lifestyle and just what they can do because, his dad had that long-term care coverage in place. And so really it's about maintaining control of your lifestyle. I know it's a tough part to talk about. When we talk retirement, we all want to talk about the go-go years, right? Like the fun things you get to do, the travel, the visiting, all that good stuff. But it is so important to talk about that later part and making sure that clients can still control what level of care they want to receive, where they want to end up at, the things like that. And again, that's why this type of product is so important. And then the great thing with these products, you're doing it without any out-of-pocket premiums. How many times, I can't imagine how many of you agents on the call here had that situation where you've had a client in a traditional long-term care policy. As the clients get older, that premium starts to skyrocket on it, and it really becomes tough for them to continue to keep that policy in place. And it sucks, right? Because when they need it the most, that's when it gets really hard, and they have to make decisions on if they can keep that policy in place or not. With these types of products, it's a single premium dump in, and it's taken care of ahead of. You don't have to worry about premium costs going up for your clients there. As far as what it takes to access your benefits, it's one of 2 things. So the first would be being unable to perform 2 out of 6 activities of daily living, which we define as bathing, eating, conscious, toileting, dressing, or transferring, or a severe cognitive impairment. At that point in time, then we could go ahead and start a claim as well there. As far as what we cover with AnnuiCare, we will cover 100% of home health care, homemaker services, hospice service, maintenance or personal care, respite care, assisted living, Alzheimer, and nursing home care. And then we will cover up to 50% of adult daycare. The way that our benefit is paid out, we do guarantee the payout for a 6-year period with the product. If you don't use your full amount, obviously then we'll provide coverage for longer than that 6-year period, but we do go for 6 years of coverage with this product. One of the nice things, it's just a 90-day elimination window for your clients to receive their benefit. It is 90 service days, so not 90 consecutive days or 90 calendar days, but it is 90 days of service, and we'll start the payout process there. One of the nice things is as soon as your client starts to qualify, so either not being able to perform 2 out of 6 ADLs or the severe cognitive impairment, you can actually call into our operations team, and they will help work with you to determine, when the payout will begin. So that way, during that 90-day window, we can get things set up to where as soon as the payout can start, your client will start to receive the funds. We are reimbursement with this policy, just so you're aware of that as well. What I think really makes this product start to stand out and really a great option is the underwriting process. And that's not common to say with these types of products. When you're talking long-term care, it can be such a pain to get through the underwriting process, and it's really tough the way it is, right? Like, you have to sell the client, you fill out all the paperwork, you submit it, then the underwriting starts only to come back and get rejected. And now the client's kind of upset because, we sold them something they really want, and now they can't get it. And that just leaves kind of a bad taste. With us here, we actually do all the underwriting on the front end. So before you have to fill out the application, we're going to take care of the underwriting then. And then so it can be as simple as, hey, is this something of interest? Yes. Let's go through the process to make sure you qualify. If yes, then let's really talk about it and, go through the application, things like that. With the AnnuiCare, there's no medical exams, no lab works are ordered, no substandard ratings. It's really a quick process in how we work. So step one of the process is we have a 7-question knockout questionnaire. So your client has to be able to go through this and say no to these 7 questions that you see listed here. If they're able to do that, then you'll go to the next step, which is a 20-minute phone interview. It's basically a cognitive call. At the end of that 20-minute phone interview, you're either going to get a rejection or an approval code. If they are approved, you put the approval code on the application, go ahead and submit it in. We've had policies that have issued out within 2 weeks from when we received the application, because it really does start to work more like an annuity at that point in time than what you get with a traditional life insurance type policy. One change we did make, just so you are aware, as long as you can prove you know who the client is, you can do the 7 questions, over the phone, especially like if it's an existing client of yours. And then for the tele-underwriting piece, it used to be you had to be there with the client as they went through the process. Because of COVID, we changed up that requirement. So you could actually do that 7 knockout questions, call into the long-term care group that does the underwriting on it, have them reach out to your client. They'll go through the interview process. They'll then call you back as the agent and say, yes, it's approved, or no, it's not. And then if approved, like I said, you can start the application. We don't require original paperwork here. So if you have a way of getting the app over to your client to sign off on, we'll take copies of it so you don't have to have original paperwork submitted back as far as the application goes. So again, really kind of a smooth, straightforward process from that standpoint. As far as minimums to get into it, for non-qualified contracts, it's just $36,500. For qualified, it's $50,000. So that is correct. You are seeing that right. We will take qualified assets. I will show you an example of how we work with those types of contracts, just so you can see that. But that is a huge opportunity there. The fact we can take qualified funds, and then the maximum amount is $600,000. We can go above that. You just have to be able to prove to us why they'd need more than $1.8 million in long-term care coverage from there. So this page here, these are our current rates. So you can see here in the middle, this is the AnnuiCare policy. One clarification, the 5, 7, and the 10 that you see there, that just refers to the surrender schedule tied to the fixed annuity. Doesn't have anything to do with the long-term care coverage. Like I said, it's the same LTC rider for all 3 versions, which goes for that 6 years of payout at 3 times the leverage. But again, these numbers just refer to the terms. So as you can imagine, the majority of our sales go into the AnnuiCare 10 just because that has the highest rate. This is a fixed annuity, so it's an annual reset. So that number can change on each contract anniversary, just so you're aware of that. We do sometimes get people that will write the 7 just to have an older client, older than that age 79. But again, majority of our sales are going into the 10-year version of AnnuiCare. One of my favorite slides here, this is the rider fee associated with the long-term care rider. So as the client gets older, you can see the fee starts to slide up a little bit, but once they get into a policy, that's the fee that they're locked into for life. So obviously, the younger that we can get a client into this type of a policy, the better off for them from a rider expense fee. What I love about this slide, you can see here, these are the rates that we've had since we launched the product back in 1999. So we did a great job, our actuary team, of building this product. We haven't had to go back and reprice it. I do get the question sometimes like, oh, hey, can these fees go up? Yes, they can. But what we have to do to increase the rider fees, we have to go to every single state that we're approved in and get approval to take up every single age band to increase the rates on. So every single age band we have to get approval on in every single state that we have the product available in. Honestly, that's so much work. We would be more likely just to launch an AnnuiCare 2 and reprice the new product and go that route. So while these could change, it is a massive undertaking, and it'd be easier for us and less expensive for us just to file a new product and go that route. Just so we have it there. So as you can see here, let's say we have a 65-year-old that we get into the product, selling the AnnuiCare 10 at 2.55, take off the 95 basis point rider charge, so they'll get a little bit of growth into that account balance. That will also get that 3 times leverage, so you kind of continue to grow the benefit from that standpoint. As far as state approvals, we are approved in 31 states, so we're a little light in the Northeast. Apologize for that. We have been trying to work to get the product filed in new states, but that's more of a project for 2021 for us here at Guarantee Income. So you can see here, these are the states that we are approved in. I know this is kind of a quick one. Just reach out to your marketer at IAMS. They can kind of help with state approvals if you have some different client cases there. As far as, I think one of the big issues I would say that agents have is, where do we find opportunities? I talk with my clients. They like the idea, but we have trouble finding, that initial money for the to put into this type of product to fund it. And so I just want to show kind of 2 different areas where we see agents and advisors having a lot of success with. The first is, clients that maybe have some old non-qualified annuities on the book. Maybe it's an old fixed annuity that's coming out of surrender, and, they're just not impressed with the rate that they're going to get on the new one. Maybe they got some old variable annuities, and after, the correction earlier this spring, they kind of decided, I'm tired of dealing with the market. They want to put it somewhere safe. It can be a great opportunity for you. So as you can see here, in this example, we have a client that has an existing annuity of $100,000 of it, $100,000, $50,000 is cost basis, $50,000 of it would be taxable gains. So in this situation, let's 1035, put it into an AnnuiCare policy. So again, $100,000 now into the AnnuiCare. They're going to have $300,000 for long-term care benefit. And the great thing about it, because of the Pension Protection Act, the long-term care benefit is going to get paid out tax-free. So we're going to eliminate that $50,000 in taxable gain. And that can be a huge savings for your client. So you think about if the client was going to try to self-fund out of that existing annuity, it's going to be the taxable gains coming out first. So they're taking a real big hit up front. It's really going to deplete down that annuity and really won't give your client that long of coverage. And so great way of, avoiding that tax burden and giving them 3 times leverage for their money to cover that long-term care event. The other opportunity that we really see, I call this but I don't need anything. In my previous position, I was on the Voya annuity sales desk several years back, and it was always funny to me when we'd have agents calling in like, oh, my client hates things right now because at that point in time they're turning 70 and a half, right? And now they got to start taking RMDs, and they're absolutely kicking and screaming because, they've spent their whole life saving, and they're so used to just being in that accumulation mode. They don't have anything that they need to spend money on, and now they're ticked off that the government's making them start to take RMDs, and they're having to pay taxes on it. And a lot of times, right, they end up kind of just spending money on things they don't need. Maybe it's just kind of giving it away to the kids, which is great for the kids, but it's not really providing much benefit back to the parents. Maybe they just start buying things. Again, maybe they don't need them, things like that. But so we see a great opportunity for this I'll show you how this kind of works. Say here we have a client, 72, with 500,000 in qualified assets. So their first year RMD is going to be about 19,000, a little over 19,000. Let's just take a portion of that 500,000 and transfer it into an AnnuiCare policy. The way we work with qualified assets is we will internally create two contracts. So there's going to be the qualified fund section and the non-qualified, because we do have to move that money into a non-qualified contract to be able to pay out the long-term care benefit. From a client perspective, it's really only going to look like the one. It'll only see the one total value of it, but internally what we're going to do is we have to move the money from that qualified contract into the non-qualified. So what we do over the first 5 years of the contract, and that 5 years is a locked-in number, we're going to 1099 20% of the client's account. So in this situation, each of the first 5 years, we're going to 1099 $20,000 to move it over. Then after that fifth year, we've fully moved everything over. It'll just go back to that one policy. Now it'll be a non-qualified contract. Great thing in this scenario, you can see here 20,000 does satisfy what they have for an R&D. So instead of just kind of wasting the money, now they're getting 3 times leverage to go towards a long-term care benefit, which can be a huge one. And then for the beneficiaries, obviously it's a big deal because now instead of inheriting qualified assets that need to be fully taxed on, it comes over as a non-qualified contract, and now it's just more about the gains at that point in time. And so it can be a big win for the kids as well. Also a big win for the kids because now the parents have money to pay for long-term care coverage, and they're not having to, the parents aren't having to move into the kid's basement, things like that. So again, a huge opportunity because of the fact that we can take qualified assets with this type of policy. With that, Scott, I know that was a lot. I know I go pretty quick through that one. I'm good to open it up to any questions that might have come in throughout the presentation.
Absolutely. Looks like we did have a couple of questions come in, and certainly while we go through these questions, if there are any further questions, please let us know. As we go through the questions, I'm going to launch the last poll of the day, and what we're asking you here is if you'd like more information on Gillico or on specifically the AnnuiCare product. If you click yes, we will certainly get that out to you very, very quickly. First question, Joe, that I've got coming in is, do you guys accept digital signatures such as DocuSign?
Yes. Yep. We would accept something from like a DocuSign, things of that. Yep.
Nice. And then we've got a question that came in. Does the 300,000 in that example qualify as LTC for tax purposes, meaning they would not pay taxes on that?
Correct. Yep. Because of the Pension Protection Act, we are covered there, so it does avoid having to pay taxes on that. If it's paid out as a long-term care benefit.
Yep.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Thank you for that. Did have a couple of questions come in specific to commissions. When we send out product information, we'll include all the commissions on that, just because that can be a rather sensitive issue on webinars. We don't discuss commissions. Just FYI there, everybody. We're not dodging your question. We will get you out full commission schedule so you can see the full breakdown. That being said, Joe, that loops me into or brings us to the end. I've got no more questions. So I do want to thank everybody for taking the time to join us. We do greatly appreciate it. Joe, I want to thank you specifically for taking the time to join us. I know it's busy at Gillico, so we really appreciate you taking some time for us. Any parting words for the group, boss?
Again, thank you so much to everybody, within the IAMS organization, all the agents in the field. It's like I said, this level of growth doesn't happen without great partnerships, and we truly value our relationship with the team at IAMS, and thank you everybody for taking time again to listen in.
Absolutely. We appreciate the partnership at Gillico. Definitely looking forward to growing it even more in 2021. That being said, everybody, I want to thank you so much for your time. Go out, have a great sales day, and we look forward to speaking with each and every one of you very, very soon. Thank you, everyone.